Hey, Mackie Kyle here in video number 2 of a 5-part series that I'm creating that's reviewing some of the really salient points of this great book, The Go-Giver, by Burg and John David Mann. And in this book, we meet this fictional character, Joe, who's at a powerful firm. He's a young man who's trying to build a name for himself, and he comes to meet an older gentleman, actually, by the name of Pindar, who becomes his mentor. And Pindar is working to introduce him to what he calls the 5 stratospheric success principles. And he's taken Joe around to meet these specific people. And in the first video, we learned that the law of value is the first law. And the law of value says that your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So how much more you give in value than you take in payment. That's stratospheric success law number 1. Today we're going to talk about number 2, the law number 2. Joe meets Nicole through Pindar, and Nicole owns a very successful software company, and her company creates children's educational software. So she kind of gives him a review. He states the first law, and she said, in other words, the first law determines your potential for success and how much you could earn. But the second law, which let me share that now, the second law is the law of compensation. The second law, the law of compensation, states your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So Nicole says that the second law determines how much you actually do earn. She says your compensation is directly proportional to how many lives you touch. She said it's not just a question of value, but it's a question of impact. So in other words, the more people we impact in our lives, the more compensation we are able to earn. She said there's 2 great things about that. First of all, it means that you get to determine your level of compensation. She said it's under your control. If you want more success, you find a way to serve more people. It's just that simple. She said it also means there are no limitations on what you can earn because you can always find more people to serve. She said Martin Luther King Jr. said it as everybody can be great because everybody can serve. She said it was also said another way. Everybody can be successful because anybody can give. And in this particular section, she talks about some mindsets that she had to overcome from her childhood. And she said the 2 things that she was taught to believe were that people who get rich, there are people who get rich, number 1, or there are people who do good, number 2. Those are the 2 kinds of people. But you couldn't do both. You couldn't be rich and good. If you were rich, you had to have done something to take advantage of other people. And if you were good, you weren't rich. So she had to overcome those mindsets. And she went on to say, she said, really your life's work is that you just make up your life. Being broke and being rich are both decisions. You make them up right there. She tapped her finger on her temple. Everything else is just how it plays out. What you focus on is what you get. So she said, just make it up. I thought that was amazing. We all have the opportunity to script our lives, to make our lives up. If we don't like what we've gotten, if we don't like where we are, we've got an opportunity to do something different. How powerful is that? Take a look. I challenge you to take a look at your life right now. If you're not where you are financially or from a relationship standpoint or within your family, you've got the power within you to change that right now. And this second stratospheric success law is the means that you can do that. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So I encourage you to try to figure out how you can make that a part of your life. In my particular situation, I'm building a business and building a team and helping folks to achieve freedom in their lives for their families. And if you're interested in learning more about that, there's a link below this video. I encourage you to check it out. But again, thank you for stopping by. I hope you found this information helpful. Again, this is The Go-Giver by Bob Burg and John David Mann. I've got 3 more success principles that I'm going to share with you, so keep an eye out for those videos. Again, this has been Mackie Kyle. If you've enjoyed this content in this video, I would ask that you comment below, share it and like this video, And above all else, I wish you great success.